Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Guru Gardening class. As promised, this week I'm going to focus on upcycling garden items. So you may find that you have some tubs or troughs or even the odd chimney knocking around your garden that could do with a little bit of tidying and fixing, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today. Okay, so what you need to do is identify something that you wish to upcycle. On this occasion, I've picked this large tub. It's pretty dirty, it's obviously been damaged by the sun, but it's not done yet and I can probably get another season or two out of it with the care and a little bit of sprucing up. So what you're going to need is a bucket of soapy water, a sponge or a scour, a towel to dry it, and your choice of spray paint. Now I've picked one that has a primer already in it. That's something that you need to bear in mind. So you need to get a primer and you need to get the colour. So this one is Plasticoat. I got it from Amazon. It was £9.99 and it's a hammered blue effect. Now a lot of the tubs that I have in the garden are hammered blue or dark blue, so it'll work in well, hopefully. I'm hoping that it will also, I already started to spray a little bit here on the chimney. You can get an idea of the colour that's going to come out. So what we need to do first is clean up the tub, make sure that it's perfectly clean, dry it off, and as soon as it's dry then we can start to spray it. Make sure that you do have something to cover the ground if you're doing it, especially on a patio, because this will not come off easily. I'm using a large piece of plastic board that I did have, but you can equally just use newspaper or plastic, polythene, something like that, just to protect the ground. You might also want to wear a mask. I know we're wearing them all the time now, but definitely you do want to protect your chest from fumes, and you might also want to wear a pair of gloves. It's completely up to you if you want to also make sure that you put on some old clothes, protect the clothes that you have, because some of these paints do not wash out just as easily as we would like them to. So let's get started with washing the tub. So when you've got your tub washed, make sure that it is 100% dry. That means that you probably will need to leave it for a little while in a warm area, or at least outside on a reasonably dry, warm day, to make sure that the container is in itself completely ready for you to spray paint it. So now that your tub is completely dry, it's time to get painting. So make sure that you give your can a really good shake. It needs to be shaken for about 2 minutes to 5. It needs to get all of the particles loosened inside the can, and that will ensure that you get a really nice, neat, clean paint job on your chosen item. So let's get started. We're going to start, we'll take it easy, nice gentle movements working round. Protect your clothes or wear old clothes. So you can see that the plant pot is already starting to take on a complete new lease of life. This lovely deep blue, and the fact that it's a hammered effect paint means that it looks like a lot more expensive containers out there in the market that can sell for £50+ pounds. There it is. Hey presto, a brand new tub for your garden. Lovely, brightly coloured, ready to be planted up with some nice new summer blooms. The next task may be a little bit more difficult, however. We are going to move on to the chimney. So it doesn't need to be primed so much. It's an old piece of metal that's been lying around the garden. Let's see how it turns out. If I'm happy with it, fair play, I will get it out and get some flowers planted in it. And if I'm not, well, it was going to the dump anyway. So don't be afraid to try new things, to test things out. And if it was something that you were going to get rid of and it doesn't go right, well, there's nothing really left. So as you can see, I've already tried it out here just to make sure that the paint actually works. There's a lot of different elements going on here. There's the grill, there's a lot of rust, but all I'm wanting to do is just to sort of spruce this up enough that I can make a feature out of it, or at least use it as a funky sort of planter. So about 12 minutes later, I have now completely sprayed this whole chimney. As you know, it was a complete rusty mess beforehand. Okay, it's not exactly perfect right now, but it's a heck of a lot better than it was. We can have some lovely trailing petunias coming out of the top. We can fill it with lovely bright blooms coming out of the centre as well, and it's going to be a real feature in the garden. You know, something that was lying around waiting to go to the dump, a dump that I can't actually get to at the minute, and now I've managed to spruce it up. You'll be able to do this too, no matter what. I promise you, no matter what ability you have. If you need some help ordering anything, just get in contact and we'll help you get those things ordered. My pot is now ready to be planted, as is my chimenea. The good thing is I'm planting it full of little petunias. We're also planting lots of seeds and sunflowers and tomatoes, which will be made available at a later date whenever they start to come on a little bit for any participants within the centre. It'll just be a case of requesting them and we'll drop them off at your door. The really great thing about upcycling is that you can take an item which has been knocking around for a long time and make it your very own. You can buy paint in any colour you want in the shops. You can order it online. If you need help with ordering, just get in contact, as I said, and we'll be able to help you. This could have been fuchsia pink, it could have been bright yellow, it could have been anything. It just requires the right paint, the right type of day, and as you can see, pretty much any item can be upcycled if you want. And just like that, our upcycling is complete for another week. We've managed to revamp the pot and also bring some life into this old chimenea. I'll post some pictures later on when it's dry and we have the plants trailing out of it. It's gonna look amazing. So stay tuned and join us next week in the garden for another Guru gardening class.